Welcome race fans to Martinsville Speedway for tonight's running for the Bump and Run or BNR Cup Series. We've got 105 miles, that's 200 laps here tonight at Martinsville. Cars have finished qualifying. It's like they're just about to start gridding up. Once we get a few more of these cars gridded up, we'll take you through the field. Should be joined by Will. He's not currently with us. We'll see. Hopefully he makes it in at some point. Alright, let's take you through the field now. Starting off on the pole position is going to be Philip Bridgman with John Tiller on his outside. Row 2 is going to be Jacob Carter with Skylar Sigston on his outside. Row 3 is going to be Tyler Myers with Jesse DeRoja. Row 4 is going to be Chris Schaefer with Cameron Smith. Row 5 will be Matthew Hunsaker with Nathan Lyon. Row 6 will be Chris Campbell with Brian Huntley Jr. Row 7 will be David Cassidy with Jeff Gilmore. Row 8 will be Timothy Cook with Kevin Roy. And bringing up the rear of the field is going to be Aaron Bradford. Just going to wrap up the rest of these cars getting gridded up here. Start rolling off. Get a couple of pace laps down. So the cars are now finally starting to roll off the grid. Philip Bridgman in that 48 Lowe's car. Pace car's going to take him around one more time. Bridgman's going to take him to that initial green flag, and it is out. We are underway at Martinsville Speedway for 200 laps tonight in the BNR Cup Series. Out front, Bridgman's trying to file out into the first position, and he has with that 27 and 22. Carter and Tiller right behind him. Side by side now heading down into turn 1. Carter's going to take the advantage over that spot. We got a couple cars side by side right here. DeRoja and Schaefer. Oh, we got one on the fence up here. Sigston. As I was watching practice earlier today, it's like a lot of these cars ended up being loose in entering corner, exiting corner. I've seen a lot of cars going around as we got one down low there. I believe that's Gilmore in that 75. And yes, it is Gilmore. And chaos already as we're only on to lap number 4 tonight. And Kevin Roy is sideways at the finish line. That's going to bring out caution number 1 tonight. Let's take a look what happened to Kevin in that, number 12. High out of the corner. And, yeah, just like I said, the back end comes out. And he parks it right on the line. Unfortunate for Kevin Roy. Going to bring out caution number 1 on lap number 4 tonight at Martinsville. So Bridgman's going to be continuing to lead this one. Carter behind him in second place. Tiller is currently in third with DeRoja in fourth, and Schaefer is in fifth. That 99 is Skylar Sixton making contact with the wall. I believe that was turn 3, maybe lap 2. Getting some nose damage on that thing. I believe he was in the pits when the caution came out, and that's why he is now lapped down. 2 laps down, excuse me. Pace car's going to continue to bring him back around with Bridgman in the lead. Pace car has left the racing surface. And Carter hangs way back. What kind? That was some. It's like some trickery there going on that restart. Not exactly sure. It looked like something. Anyways, back to the action. We got side by side, and Smith and DeRoja. Smith is going to take that position, and that's for 5th. And looks like just about everyone is almost single filed out. We got one right here that's Line, Nathan Line, 38 car getting passed by Tyler Myers in the 6 car. Carter continuing to try and hunt down Bridgman, closing the gap to try and get that spot from him. He is reeling in on the corners. And it looks like Carter just smacked the wall right there coming out of 2. Sigston off the pace. And we've got another caution. Let's see. Go to Tyler Myers here, and contact with the 4. Back that up just a bit more. And let's see, it's like 38 heads up the track and just kind of checks a bit. 6 checks up, 4 gets into him. 4, I believe that's hit Brian Hunt. And that 6 car, Tyler Myers, just goes around and into the wall backwards. That's going to bring up caution number 2 tonight here at Martinsville on lap number 16. And the green flag is back out. Philip Bridgman takes that green flag and heads down in the turn 1. Carter got a pretty good run on the outside. Good restart, excuse me. Now heading down into turn 3, side by side, with Tiller right on their bumper. And Carter's got the advantage heading into 1 on the outside. And there's contact. Oh, and Carter gets slammed into the outside wall. And we got the 8 down on the low side. And there's another caution. So let's first take a look, see what happened here. Try to find a good camera. That looks like Bridgman maybe just run up a little bit too high. And in the meantime, what happened to Cameron Smith? Hits the curb, loses it, blocks it up, hits that wall. And somehow his engine blows right there, and that brings out another caution. So that is going to be Cameron Smith in an 8 car. Not sure if they have the fast repair. They're working on it. Looks like the dents are slowly coming out of that thing. But that leaves us on lap 24. 3 cautions already. Hopefully these guys will get settled in and get some good green flag runs. And Bridgman's going to bring him to the restart zone and give this one another shot. And that green flag is out, and they are off. Bridgman sends it down to the 1. Carter's got a better run on the high side. They head down the backstretch side by side into 3. Carter gets by Bridgman, completes the pass. He's got him cleared. Carter is the new leader. And we've got a battle right here between DeRoja and Cassidy. Cassidy making his way up on the outside, and that monster 17. He's going to clear DeRoja for that 6th place position. Like Timothy Cook trying to make a move. Trying different lines, and now we got a bit of movement up here with Chris Schaefer and David Cassidy making moves. Cassidy continuing to climb up, now taking 5th place from Schaefer. Making quick work, having that high line working well for him. He's going to have his sights set on Nathan Line in that 38 car next. Looks like, I was going to say, it looks like there's a bit of damage on the nose of that car, but I guess that's just the paint scheme. Carter continuing to pull away from Bridgman now, as Bridgman just brushes the wall coming out of 4 right there. Oh, and we got one around right here. That's Timothy Cook. Oh, not totally sure what just happened there. Just watched it, but so he kind of just sent himself around. Let's go on board. Get a better glimpse. Just gassed it up a bit too much and was unable to collect it. Unfortunately, that's going to bring out another caution. Caution number 4 on lap 35 of 200 tonight at Martinsville. Looking like Bridgman has opted to pit. Schaefer, Gilmore, Timothy Cook brought out that caution. All opting to pit here. So Kevin Roy's going to hit pit road. His car is off. Front line consisting of Carter and Tiller on the outside. First time Carter's going to be starting on the inside. Let's see how this one goes for him. Into the right car restart zone. Good restart. Tiller gets a good run into turn 1. Now down the backstretch, Carter has completely cleared of Tiller. Line maybe going to be looking to make a move on Tiller. Quite yet. Don't forget Cassidy back here is making quick moves before that caution. Cassidy's now up into 4th after Bridgman opting to pit. We can look back, see how Bridgman's doing back here. Currently sitting in 9th place on the outside line. Trying to make his way up through traffic now, got his sights on that Hunsaker. Carter continuing to pull even further away, opening the gap further, as this looks like the sun's starting to come out on the track, or at least in 1 and 2. Looks like Schaefer was way up the track in turn 4. Carter with over a 1.5-second lead now. Cassidy not making so much progress as he was in the earlier laps of this race. Not necessarily losing, but not making the ground that we expected to see him make after that restart. And Hunsaker is loose up out of the groove. It's going to cost him a couple spots. Bridgman's going to get by, and Gilmore now making his way. Oh, and we've got another caution on the track. It's like Timothy Cook. Let's see what happened to him. And that will be the second caution that he has brought out on his own. So wondering if there's going to be a penalty. Got a handful of cars hitting pit road now. Looks like our leader, Jacob Carter. Got Tiller, DeRozier, Sigston, Line, Cassidy, Cook. It's like Brian Huntley Jr. is now leading this field as we hit lap 50. We're just a quarter of the way of this one tonight. Current top runners are Brian Huntley Jr., Chris Campbell in second, third. Philip Bridgman is back up to third right now. Jeff Gilmore in fourth, and Tyler Myers is currently sitting in fifth. Brian Huntley going to bring him into the restart zone. And there's the green flag. Down in the turn one, Brian Huntley's got a great lead already. Single filed out with Campbell and Bridgman behind him. Schaefer falling back on the outside, losing a good handful of spots quickly. Oh, now Schaefer gets on it, puts the bumper to Tiller. Just a little nudge. And Cassidy slides up the track, losing a couple of spots right here. Cassidy and Schaefer still battling. Cassidy gets run up the track just a bit. DeRosa had to back out of that one a bit. Oh, we got a car going around. Is that Sigston? That is Sigston, but no caution. He saves it. Huntley out front with just about a half-second lead. Campbell currently holding down second, but Bridgman in his mirror. It looks like that lap car of Sixton's going to be honestly in the way, but an object coming up here soon for these leaders to have to get around. Now Campbell and Bridgman closing in on Huntley. Bridgman trying to find a line that's going to get him past Campbell. He's got the speed. Oh, here goes Gilmore. Gilmore says, "You're taking too long, Bridgman. I'm going now." Gilmore gets by Bridgman. He's got him cleared now, going by Campbell. Campbell's going to get shuffled to the high side. Bridgman's going to follow Gilmore down on the low side. They're both going to get by Campbell. Now Campbell getting railroaded almost, as Tyler Myers tried to make a move. Your new top three is Brian Huntley, Gilmore, and Philip Bridgman. Oh, we got one around, and that's the 99. Sixton again. It's going to be at least the second caution he's brought out tonight. The corner, and there's a little too much juice. Hey Brian, it's Chris in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Hey, what's going on out there, leader?
Well, luckily enough, they all pitted, and I stood out. Me and Campbell, my other teammate, just got his lap back. Oh, Bradford! I told Bradford, hang it out, you'll be all right. Even off pace a little bit, you'll get the cautions you need. And now he's back to one lap down. So, the car is very iffy in traffic. Boy, it gets in the front and loves it. So my objective here is to see if I can beat Phil on the restart and try to keep him behind me. I know, and I have my teammate behind me, so that'd be all right. Oh, Campbell. So, but otherwise, car handles great. It'll probably be another couple more laps, then I might come down and take advantage of the freshies. I'm trying to time it with fuel wise, so I'm making on one more stop while everybody pitted a little bit earlier. So we'll have to switch the strategy up here and hope for the best.
All right, now we know you're an admin for the series. Just a rule question, I guess. Do we not have a tap rule in this series for the same, multiple cautions by the same person?
Yes, we do. They
Copy
were they
that.
were all forewarned, so their courtesy on if they decide to listen to that rule and not, then it comes back and haunts them at the end of the race. So,
So what is the rule? A two tap?
um, technically, it is if you cause two or more cautions, adios muchachos, pull it over for the night. You're done for the night. If it's iffy to where if someone makes contact with the car and it looks iffy, then unfortunately that's going to be a hard one to call. But
All right, hey, get back to the action. Go win this one, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
hey, we'll try.
Get him right up to the last moment. That green flag comes out. And here it goes. Huntley with a huge jump. Campbell behind him. Bridgman, he wanted him not behind him, and he got exactly what he wanted. Bridgman's back to third now. Side by side is Cassidy and Myers. Cassidy's going to get the position. That's for fourth place. Ooh, Carter loose off the corner there, collected it up. No harm, no foul. Eighth in line, possibly trying to get ninth place from Jesse DeRoja. Oh, Carter goes around. Ooh, unfortunate for Jacob Carter in that 22 car. He was a very dominant leader early on inside the pit. Sends it up on the high side, and the back end just comes out on him. Possibly a combination of fresh tires and just that higher line not being as worn in yet. So unfortunate for Jacob Carter. Going to bring out caution number 7 tonight. Looks like Skylar Sigston has retired for the evening. Cameron Smith as well.
Good evening, Chris. My apologies for joining late.
Hey, there's Will. How are we doing tonight? Well,
Well, doing good. Just running a little bit behind. My apologies again for that. But here we
no,
are finally this evening.
No worries.
Martinsville.
Welcome to the chaos.
Yep. Seventh caution of this evening. So just saw, I believe it was Carter in the 22 spin around. So
Yeah, that is
how are
correct.
you doing tonight, Chris?
Oh, I'm settled in for a long one. As you can see, seventh caution, but it's the green flag runs have been pretty good tonight. Seen Carter was up front there, pretty dominant, and then opted to pit and a couple wiggles and lost it on that last one. So unfortunate for him. Well, maybe he'll be able to get it back up front there. You can see our buddy Brian Huntley up front. We just talked to him a minute ago before he joined us.
Did Brian who qualified on pole?
Let's see. That was it. It wasn't Brian. It was
Oh,
Bridgman.
okay.
It was Bridgman and Carter were the front row.
Oh, Bridgman qualified on the pole tonight. Interesting. So just about to be halfway in a matter of moments. Hopefully, once this pace car pulls in shortly, we will log some laps, get some lappage under the belt, hopefully. One can only hope, Chris. So, very, very tight technical course here. Martinsville is, Chris, and got to be very careful. Stay off the curbing in the corners. You don't want to get too close on the entry to hit the curb, but you got to get just enough close to it to make the corner.
Yeah, the racing's been good and pretty clean. It just seems like you got a lot of self spinners or things we've seen in the past where the tires haven't warmed up yet and people getting a little too excited. But the green flag is just back out here now as Brian takes that away.
Well, even in the truck and the Xfinity races in the BNR here at Martinsville, we saw quite a few self spins. Just really the transition, to cut down from the straightaway, diving through the corner or diving into the corner. That transition from the asphalt to the concrete can kind of catch the car out just a tad bit, and also just the turning angle.
Oh, we got one in the wall. That is Campbell.
Oh,
And here we
carnage.
Go now.
We got a small parking lot.
Oh boy. Let's go back. Let's start it with Campbell. Let's take a look here. Campbell kind of just gets loose off the corner, I guess. Noses into the wall. Everybody trying to get around him.
Just nowhere to go, unfortunately, for the cars that were already committed to that lane. When you kind of scoop off the corner there, you kind of, the lane goes to the wall. So Campbell got loose, tried to save it, nosed it into the wall. And when you get a car kind of just set in a lane or taking a lane and a quarter of the track, and pretty much almost all the field kind of cut low to avoid it, but just that perfect angle of just not being able to cut down in time while you also have other drivers below you trying to avoid the same crash.
Another unfortunate break for Carter, wound up in that one, as well as...
Yes, indeed. He had just spun and in a way kind of put himself in that situation like you alluded to. He had just pitted, then he kind of just got a bit wobbly, spun it out, brought out the caution, and then just kind of caught up in this one in a way. Martinsville is a really narrow track. It kind of looks a bit wide, but it really narrows up whenever there's a car sideways on the track or, just some type of crash like that occurs. It is difficult to avoid it.
So it's going to put us on caution number 8 as we hit lap number 85 tonight, Will. looking to see if Brian's going to bring that 4 machine down for some tires. He said he was thinking about it within the next handful of laps. So we'll see what he's going to do here.
Has he pitted already?
I don't believe he has. Let's take a look at the graphic. Huntley pitted at lap 16. So he pitted earlier on in the race.
Well, the last time we were here at Martinsville in the BNR Cup Series, it was during a playoff run last season, and Brian qualified on the pole, led a good portion of the race, and actually ended up winning the race in some late race, just right place, right timing type of situations. And he could just be waiting till after, if we get a caution near or around lap 100 mark, come in and pit around that time, because that's kind of what he did in that race. So green flag back out in the air, Chris waving again. Lap 87 of 200.
Cassie's made his way all the way up to the front there now, trying to challenge Huntley for the lead.
Yeah, David Cassidy, he is one heck of a short track racer. Just about any short track you see him run that he shows up to race, he is almost a threat and one to kind of take the win away, if you will. But sometimes,
as we see him taking the lead away right now.
Yep, really good moves, just really easy into the corner, kind of aggressive out at times, but just aggressive enough to have that drive off, that drivability that you need.
Makes it look easy. We've been watching him make his way up to the field throughout the night.
There's Tiller in the 27 car.
Walking up into one.
Bridgman just kind of stuck on that outside lane.
Ooh, hits the wall. Collects it
Oh,
up.
yeah, got a bit bobbly there.
And Schaefer.
Oh, no. Schaefer had a moment with, who was that, Line, I believe?
Ooh,
or just had a moment going down the straightaway.
It seems like he kind of overreacted or overcorrected to Bridgman hitting the wall.
Yes.
Let's take a look on board with Schaefer and see what he...
That's exactly...
Can hear the,
I'd agree with you with that, Chris.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Almost maybe the back a little too loose down there. Throttled up too much. I'm not sure. It was kind of odd.
Well, just like what you were saying, that correction, or just trying to avoid Bridgman's mistake, try not to, give him space, give him room, and avoid that, not drive into him, and then, the steering boxes in these cars, very, very just, I guess you could say, just very touchy, very sensitive. And the more aggressive input you put, the harder, the more difficult it will be to try to catch the car in that type of scenario. So, I have to agree with you, like you said, just kind of one of those deals of trying to avoid an incident, but that overcorrection or that just that tug of the wheel, I guess you could say, trying to avoid somebody, just really got the car out of shape too much. Of course, just probably also trying to get back into the throttle at the same point of trying to miss the 48 car.
See, Huntley taking the pit road now. It's like Tiller faked him out and ended up on staying on track.
Well, like you kind of noted, in the talk that you had with Brian just a couple of cautions ago, he did state he would probably bring it down pit road in a couple of cautions or so, or just in a handful of laps. If he could get some green flag running in and then get a caution perhaps. And that's kind of what we see here. Just a couple of cautions later, bringing that car down. Probably could be good to go from here on out with fuel. So if I can remember. Go ahead. Yeah, good for Tiller. With all these different cautions that you can have at a short track where track position is very key, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have all these different types of wacky strategies that, some drivers really going to be off kiltered or off strategy from one another. Some drivers are going to take that choice to stay out. Others going to come in every other caution or every so often. Others just going to stay out as long as they think they need to. Back under green again here, Chris.
You can see a bit of action going on in the mid-pack. Tiller's gotten pulling away from everyone. Gilmore and is that Hunsaker next to each other. Gilmore getting the pass. DeRozier looking on Hunsaker. Gilmore sending it on the high side around line. Not going to work that time. Bridgman coming back through the pack now, currently in 9th place. Looks like he's trying to follow Huntley up through. As we can see, Huntley has now made it up to 7th. Bridgman right behind him. See a bit of smoke, but we don't see any cars around. Oh, and here we go. That 44. He may have just locked it up into the corner.
Well, half the race is complete now, Chris. Only half remaining here, so yeah, the 44 I think is having some type of smoking problem, or happened for just a couple of corners or straightaway there, but
Cassidy trying to make his move. He's looking on the low side now. DeRozier's going to give him plenty of room. And Cassidy clears him with no problem.
good sportsmanship racing craft between those two drivers there. DeRosa kind of saw Cassidy coming and was like, hey, you're way faster. I'll just kind of move on over just a little bit, give you the space that you need.
Looks like Gilmore just brushed the wall coming out of 2. He's trying to catch Hunsaker and take that last of the podium positions from him.
Yeah, Matthew, no surprise really that Matthew Hunsaker is up here, in the top 5, in the top 3 at the moment, actually. So,
Well, take a look at that right front on the 23 of Schaefer. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're good.
That is not pointing the correct way. That thing is hard towed out to the right. So now we can see Tiller coming up on him right behind. Schaefer kind of needs to get that thing off the track. Tiller's going to get by him.
Yeah, I wonder how difficult that Schaefer mobile is to drive with that tow length being really obscure like it is. You just see how drastically off pace Schaefer is. That's such a downer moment. You know, you kind of just have a good car, and then just small mistakes or just things just don't fall right, don't go your way, and you get that type of damage.
Seeing a lot of lockup on that 44 car, DeRoja. Maybe starting to feel the pressure, overcooking it, going into the corners there.
Yeah, that's one way to definitely show how a driver is attacking the corners here at Martinsville, when they either lock up enough to show some brake smoke or just that duct work going on with the brakes, or when they just overdrive the corner and go a bit higher than usual. But yeah, DeRosa just getting passed here by just about everybody. At the moment, really logging some laps here, Chris, so good little green flag, short little stint here at the moment. I know I just probably, you know. Tiller pulled out to a nice 2-second lead at the moment. He's got a nice little buffer over the line. But, those small mistakes, getting a little bit loose off the corner, or like I said, maybe over driving the entry, gotta limit all these mistakes, as we saw Matthew Huntsaker in the disguised number 2 car. He ran a bit wide through 3 and 4, lost a couple of positions, so.
Well, we had a bit of contact with Cassidy.
Yeah, line, I think, might have got loose up out of the corner, and Cassidy just so happened to be there. But let's see it in replay here.
I think Line kind of got a little loose on his own, and Cassidy was just there.
Exactly, so Line's going to lose at least 2 positions there. Gilmore and Cassidy get around the 38 machine, as he had just a bobbly moment like we talked about. Gotta limit these mistakes. Can't really make them. If you make them, you lose that positioning, lose that ground, lose that momentum that you're having. Martinsville, all about your rhythm, all about your momentum.
Cassidy trying to close in on Tiller. Bridgman still trying to get back up through.
Bit of contact a little bit further back. I think Brian might have got him to line and kind of booted him out of the way. line lost a couple of other positions, or at least one position. So Brian Huntley really making his way back up through the field, back in that 4th position now. So cracked back into the top 5.
Showing he has the skill and speed here, not just a fluke of pit timing as he sends Hunsaker around.
Yep, got into the back of Matthew there. Gonna have to look on the replay, see if that was just, well, he bumped him coming out of 2.
Let's go.
And then I guess Brian just decided to send him, I guess.
Call it literal, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those Martinsville, hey, I'm here, I'm off of turn 2, coming off of turn 2. He kind of gave him a little bump, was like, hey, I'm here. And then coming through turn 4, he just kind of got rid of him, I guess you could say. But that's short track racing for you at times. That just seems to how it goes. So definitely going to bring the field back together. Cassidy definitely. Oh, Tiller pitted. Okay. I was going to get ahead of myself there, but everybody but Huntley and Cassidy pitted. Christopher Campbell gets the lucky dog, gets the lap back. Schaefer now can pit and do some repair work to that right front. Hopefully, even though he's 3 laps down, you know, we've seen Martinsville races here. We got plenty of more time for cautions. So with Schaefer being only 3 laps down, I mean, the chances of him getting back on the lead lap are very high. So I think, me personally, that's just my opinion. As we look and see at all the different pit stop strategy there, that's such, if you look at it too long, you might get just a bit confused, but
tough night for Jacob Carter. Being pretty dominant out the gate early. We thought we were going to be seeing our winner right there. Not necessarily out of it, but just bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. Now,
well, him and Cook are both. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's 19 laps down, so maybe bite my tongue on that. That'd be a lot of cautions. I don't want that.
Yeah, if this was a 400 or 500 lap race,
I still don't want that.
It's all right to make a chuckle or a laugh here or there. You know, got to have some type of joke or some type of laughable substance, I guess. So Kevin Roy trying to keep that nose clean, that car clean. Currently in the 8th position, so stand up top 10 run for him at the moment.
Green flag is back out.
David Cassidy going to lead them through turns 1 and 2 here, Chris.
Great start by Cassidy. Gonna leave Huntley trying to find his way back to him. Oh, and that 41 is around on the apron.
Brian's going to go kind of sliding, spinning into the inside wall to do some wreck avoidance. See here, Aaron coming through 3 and 4.
And he was just coming off a pit road. He had cold tires.
Yeah. Everybody somewhat managed to skate by, get by. Don't know how much damage Brian will get, but that will most certainly set him back.
Yeah, look, Tiller got into the back of him with, just nowhere to go, accordion effect, but
Right.
he ended up with the worst of it. Let's see, it looks like he's currently sitting in 8th place. Don't see damage on the car, so he's probably alright. It'll be fine. I don't know, Will. What are you thinking? I'm thinking, where are you putting your money on?
Well, I've seen Cassidy race a good amount of short track races, like I said, and if he can have the right positioning, which I do believe he has now, it's going to be tough to get by David there in that 17 machine, but Tiller in the 27, he showed some nice speed. Gilmore, he's very consistent. But yeah, if you're asking me who I think, I would go with probably David Cassidy.
I'm gonna have to jump on board with you on that one. I don't think I can pick anyone else. I've been watching them all since the start of the race, working through the field multiple times, and here he is sitting up front now. We've seen Bridgman have to make his way up through several times as well. So we'll see if he's able to do anything. But right now, it looks like we're watching the David Cassidy show.
Well, the next race would be Talladega. That's scheduled for a couple of weeks from now. As next week, I do believe we are off, so bye weekend, if you will, or off weekend. So they go from basically just a short stretch of a bunch of short track races to, hello, biggest track oval on the schedule. So David Cassidy going to lead them to the restart yet again. Green.
Restart by all.
Oh, yeah. Bless you. Oh, my goodness. Gesundheit.
And we've got another caution. Wadding up a little further back. And it's taking us to Aaron Bradford. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. Schaefer?
I think Bridgman got sideways coming out of the final corner.
Yeah. And
oh, Campbell. That's not Campbell, that's Schaefer.
Yeah. On board with Schaefer here. Ooh, smoke, and then just the last second.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure Schaefer had just repaired that car to get it back up to speed.
Ooh, that's a hard hit. Sent Bridgman for a full 360.
And
grabs Roy. That's going to crunch up the front of his car, too.
Just not the front, but also that left rear where he got hit. that kind of driver's side doorish area, left rear housing area where Kevin Roy got hit.
Yeah.
Wonder what type of damage all these competitors sustained. How much
They took a look at
it
this. Well,
will.
Cassidy just hit the pit road. He's now back in ninth. So we're going to have to see if he can make his way up through the field again. So the top 5 cars all pitted right about the same time. Lap 124, 125.
Well, that'll give Gilmore the race lead. Tiller, Line, Campbell, DeRosa. That will be the top 5. Brian back up, gained a couple of positions there, up to 6th. Myers, Huntsaker, Cassidy, and Roy. That rounds out the top 10. Bridgman, Bradford, 11th and 12th. Going to get the restart with 60 to go here, Chris.
And green flag is out. Gilmore's going to bring him down in turn 1. So he's going to hang on that outside line, but looks like Line's going to get to the inside line. Side by side, Tiller and Line still fighting for it. And it looks like Campbell's in the wall back there. He's going to go right side, right front damage. It looks like Nathan Lyon's going to get the spot. And it looks like Campbell's cooked that thing right into the corner. He's got some right front damage. Is not working well for him. Not able to turn that car like he needs to. He was able to keep it around the bottom on that turn, but he did lose some speed. Cassidy now up to 6th, with Brian Huntley in front of him in 5th, both trying to get back up towards the front. Gilmore's got a clear track ahead of him and almost a second lead over Nathan Line. And looks like Huntley working on DeRosa again. This one's going to be for 4th place. Cassidy's going to be trying to follow him through. It's like Huntley's got him cleared. Now Cassidy's below him. Oh, and Tiller slows up, and Line is sideways. Locks it up. Oh! And looks like we're going to stay green. Wow, that was something. Hold up a second.
Yep.
Let's take a look back. What just happened there?
Don't know if Phillip got into the back of Nathan after he gathered it back up, but what a save. I think Tiller got sideways in the middle of the corner, and then Nathan gets sideways on exit. And I think Bridgman might have got basically almost stopped and didn't get into the back of him.
And
So
here we got a caution now for showing us Chris Schaefer. Let's take a look. Contact with that 41.
Schaefer's bad night just keeps getting worse, it seems.
But Huntley is up into 2nd place. Cassidy in 5th right now.
So 3 cars chose to bring it down pit road, the 48, 38, and also the 23 of Chris Schaefer that kind of brought out the caution after contact with, or just trying to stay off the 41 either way. Working the 13th caution of the evening, probably going to get back going just under 50 to go. Probably going to be about 49, 48, somewhere in that range of laps to go when we get back green. Most definitely, if you have anything whatsoever that you feel left in the tank, in the car, that you can get out of this race this evening with a better finish than where you're at now, most certainly now would be around the time to start getting up and going. It is most certainly getting into the crunch time area. The go time, I do believe, most certainly would be around now. Like we have seen Huntley and Cassidy working their way back up through the field after pitting on the previous caution. Also just kind of possibly also working back from mistakes and just trying to drive through it, persevere. Getting doubled up here, getting back to go. Green flag racing, 48 laps remaining. Gilmore off with a good lead into turns 1 and 2, leading the field back down the back straightaway. DeRosa taking a peek underneath Huntley. He's got a bumper there, but not going to have the momentum off the corner as Cassidy looks high on DeRosa now. DeRosa kind of locks it up, walks it up the track ever so slightly, but keeps it out of Cassidy. Cassidy now getting by the 44, disposing of DeRosa. As Tiller back here fighting with Myers. Oh, might have been a little bit of contact, but I think we got by it between Bradford and Tiller. Very hard, aggressive racing back here, further back in the field. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th positions here. And oh man, line gave Bradford a shot, or was that Schaefer? I think that was Schaefer.
And there we go.
Oh, Schaefer got into Bridgman. Line goes around as well.
We watched that one happen live, and it's only a matter of time before all that beating and banging, somebody goes around.
Oh, most definitely, Chris. I think Chris Schaefer might have just clobbed the curb there, and that might have sent him into Bridgman.
That was... There we go. Yeah, I think you might be right on that one, Will.
Either he hopped the curb or he just overdrove the entry trying to give space to the car outside. But either way, still net result, pow, bang, into the wall with the 48 and from contact with Schaefer there. So like we said, the 38 line goes around as well. So Nathan looked to be having a pretty good night, and then just kind of got caught up in the back there, kind of made a mistake coming off of force, got really slow, lost a bunch of ground, and then just kind of got caught up back there in all the traffic. We say it all the time. If you can limit the mistakes, you'll have a wonderful time. You'll have a great race. But mistakes is basically something that will happen in racing and part of motorsport. It's almost hard to not make mistakes, but Gilmore, race leader currently. Huntley there in second. Needs to get a bit better restart if he's going to restart in that outside lane for sure. That last restart, he just wasn't really there. But some people really like to try to give the leader, enough space to where they don't really get a penalty, Chris, because iRacing can be a bit strict at times with the restart boxes and everything that they have.
Yeah, they've tightened it up a lot more, so you can't skip the restarts, I guess, so to speak. Make it more fair.
Yeah, you can't jump the leader basically, and until unless the leader doesn't go completely. But now I know you can have different rules as well, to where you can go, when the hypothetical lights go out for the restart, go on green, or you can have it set to go in a restart zone. So getting the restart here, just gonna have under 40 laps to go. 38, I do believe, Chris. So that's a bit better restart out of Brian that time, but he's not going to be able to get down in front of Cassidy like he wanted, but I guess Cassidy lifted. Yes, he did indeed. So Cassidy lifted for Brian to get down there, or else he probably would have clipped him.
Oh, and Tiller goes around the corner. It's going to bring out caution number 15. Let's take a look at what happened to Tiller in that 27 car. Ooh, a little help from Campbell. Send him around. Looks like he does not hit the wall and immediately gets that thing back going.
I think he could have sponged the wall there, but not a severe enough hit. I think it was just a light enough brush that shouldn't really affect him too much, I don't think. If he even did touch it, I don't think he did. Excellent brake work to get the car locked down after that contact and slideway spin there from Tiller. So Schaefer getting one of his mini laps back, it looks like. So
Schaefer now 12 laps down. So he's gotten, 7 laps back?
something like that. I don't know. I think he's that one time when he was only just a few laps down, I believe. It was looking bright for him, to get those 3 laps back, but then he got caught up in something. He had to repair some more damage, so that's what got him over 10 laps down in the double digits, I believe. So in a way, Chris, I kind of can't wait till we kind of get away from the short track swing. I don't mind them. It's just, I rather see, just a bit more racing, perhaps. I know it's a bit easier on the bigger tracks to get strung out more, and in a way, you kind of get the same result in a way, as far as not really seeing any racing once they do get strung out, if they do. But like I said, I don't mind either war. Short tracks are fun and all.
Well, here's to a green flag run to the end.
So just over 30 laps to go, Chris.
Gilmore still holding down the lead. Cassidy is making his way by Huntley on the low side for that second place spot. Huntley's giving him plenty of room.
Definitely had the position, had the car right where he wanted it.
Huntley's not going to let him go quick, though.
Oh, no, not at all. Matthew Hunsaker with a lockup in turn 1, overdrove that corner. Going to lose a couple of spots there, so... Oh, Lyon and Campbell making a bit of contact, but they got by it, so...
Hard lockups by both of them.
Oh, yes.
And there goes Lyon across Hunsaker's nose.
Sometimes you just run out of racing room, it feels, especially at a place like Martinsville, and just happens so easily.
Well, that kind of looks like one of those, it's the end of the race. It's coming down to the end of it.
Most certainly, I agree.
Two cars slid up, and Hunsaker trying to make his move, and the gap just kind of closed. So it's on board with Hunsaker.
Right. Especially when you get side by side battling with somebody, you both lock up. Like you say, Hunsaker was there, and like you alluded to, it basically the end of the race.
Yeah, he was there. Lyon probably didn't know he was right there because there's so much going on and kind of got down into him. It's the end of the race, and time's running out. It's time to make moves, and more incidents are happening now.
Some drivers in 3rd gear, some still in 4th. We see here the onboard with Hunsaker, and Lyon's onboard showed 3rd gear, so these drivers are really struggling, really battling, trying to navigate this track, trying to get through it. These corners, very demanding as far as trying to get slow enough to make them properly. Cassidy is going to be restarting now on the outside lane where Bridgman, where Brian Huntley has been restarting the past couple of restarts, so have to see how aggressive Cassidy may be about trying to get to the bottom, get in front of Brian to try to get a run towards Gilmore, or maybe, just maybe, if he stays in that outside lane. We've seen him have some good momentum in that outside lane a couple of times. DeRosa, who's had kind of an up and down night, in fourth position there, so Bridgman back up to P5 after his back and forth night as well. A lot of drivers just this evening up and down, back and forth.
Very roller coaster night for a lot of them, Will.
Martinsville just always seems to bring that out. Just always having to, it seems like, manage your way back up and through the field multiple times sometimes. Going back green here, going to have 25 laps remaining, Chris.
And Gilmore is off. Huntley right behind him. Cassidy on the outside. Huntley getting that second position over Cassidy. And, oh, Gilmore down on the low side.
Gilmore could have happened, perhaps might have drawn a penalty.
What in
from
the world?
that restart violation, possibly. Only thing I could muster, if not, just possibly just gotten loose off of turn 2, but the car looked right.
Well, let's take a look, because we got a caution, so we can go back and hop on board with Gilmore. See, this is at the green flag drop. And yeah, he's just cruising down bottom. Geez, I really don't know. And it looks like he retired.
My best guess, the only guess I could, like I said, I could muster or think of would probably just be a restart violation of some sort.
Well, it was weird. He didn't even pull into his own pit stall. He like drove into the pits and then towed from there. What's the what was the cause of that caution?
Yeah, Timothy Cook got around somehow on the back straightaway, I do believe. We're going to see the cause here.
Oh, looks like he did it himself.
Oh man, yeah, just got loose out of turn 2, way out there on that outside, way out there. Like I said, probably out in all the marble, and that'll do it for sure. So
we have to see if we can find what happened to Gilmore. He is gone. I believe he retired now. Very odd to just shut it down with 20 laps to go when you're in the lead.
Well, a number of things I guess could have happened. Like I said, either restart penalty, violation of some sort, emergency of some sort with maybe house, family, something of the sort. No clue at the moment, but speculation running wild. Like you say, I'd have to agree with you that just very, very fairly odd. Normally when you see somebody pull off from the lead, it either has something to do with a penalty of some sort, or sometimes, you know, like I said, some type of a some sort of a emergency perhaps, but so 17 laps to go at the line when we get to it. Pace car going to pull off again here for the 17th time under caution of asking, 18th in total if you count the initial start of the race. So green flag back out in the air. Brian Huntley going to have a tremendous jump on that restart there. Bridgman getting to the inside of Cassidy. That's going to be a tough fight for second, but Cassidy's going to have the momentum on the outside lane, going to clear Bridgman.
Oh,
And DeRosa, DeRosa turns Bridgman.
My goodness, Will.
Yeah, like you alluded to before, just getting to the nitty-gritty, getting to the end of this race, a lot of take and not a lot of give. Pole sitter Philip Bridgman there in the 48. Definitely not having a wonderful night, having a really up and down night. Thank goodness he's not climbing any ladders, or he would probably be in a full body cast.
Okay, for getting another lap back. He's to 9 laps down now. Persistence with that one, I guess, huh?
Indeed, it's just like, you see somebody making, spinning out at different portions of the track. Well, at least they're consistent, about spinning out. But when you see somebody spinning out at just one portion of a racetrack, now that is truly consistency, Chris.
Well, he's got down to 9 laps behind, and he has just passed Gilmore since Gilmore has dropped out. So we did pick up a spot by just keeping with it.
As long as he can stay out of all the other trouble, if we have any more parking lots or what have you, if he can just drive through it cleanly, he will be the one able to get the lap back by iRacing. But we are running out of time for that to keep happening for Schaefer in the 23.
Yeah, let's just get a good solid green run to the finish. Please.
We had one just after the halfway point, about a good, what would you say, about 15, not quite 20 laps.
We know they can do it.
Oh yes, we for sure know they can. Just some drivers out there just a little antsy and just trying to find another word to go with antsy. But David Cassidy, don't know if he finds himself in the right position or not. I don't know if you for sure want to be on the outside lane trying to have something to go or have something to say towards the end of this race. With that being the outside lane, but fairly matched coming to the restart zone. And Huntley just gets another hole shot there. DeRosa going to clear Cassidy. Can DeRosa's short run speed? No, Cassidy crossed him up on corner exit.
Oh
no. Oh, man. Lots of stuff ensued there. Cassidy went for the crossover on corner exit, but just got loose and the car came out from underneath him, it looks like. Yes. I think they slightly touched and then, oh man,
Wow.
what a catch and just a tank slapper into the wall. Luckily, nobody else caught him or got into the wall with him. And there's a tussle going on for second place, letting Brian Huntley just drive away into the sunset at the Hunsaker diving it to the inside, and there was no way, nothing going to happen there, except for what we just saw.
What in the world was Hunsaker doing? We gotta go on board. This can't possibly. I mean, let's. All right, let's.
He sent it.
I think he just got way too excited, and I don't know, man. Wow. Let's do the on board one more time.
He sent it like a dive bomber. I tell you what.
Let's see.
I mean, I applaud the move if that's like a last lap daring thing to do, Chris, but we were a few laps from that. You can see he didn't really get touched from behind, you know, had loads of room from behind, so he could have been a bit more easier getting into the corner, but yeah, he threw full scent there by the two car that is disguised this evening. That's kind of like what Denny Hamlin did to Chase Elliott that one year at Martinsville. Except, you know, I love what Denny still says about that. Like, Denny will say, well, I was being pushed from behind, and it's like,
that was a hell of an arrow push, huh?
Like the person behind Denny was like,
3 cars.
You know, 2-3 car lengths away. And it's like, I was getting pushed from behind, Chase. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
But I think Denny Hamlin, like, I like Denny Hamlin, the podcaster, like the car owner, but I'm not like a Denny Hamlin race car driver fan. I think the Denny Hamlin that puts on a racing helmet, like race car driver Denny, I think he lives in a different reality or like a different universe than we do. He clearly sees things differently.
Well, that being said, the pace car is off, and we're going to be getting 3 to go when we get to the line. Can we make them
not
green?
in overtime. This is not an overtime restart. So Brian with another hole shot in the center of the restart zone. Tiller and DeRosa going to battle it out for second place at the moment. Then you have fourth and fifth back there. So, and Cassidy with a send. Oh, getting into the line.
I freaking saw that too. I knew that was coming. Golly.
Oh man.
I saw it coming, and I was hoping Cassidy wasn't gonna do it. And
man, I didn't see that at all coming from Cassidy, to be honest. I mean, I knew he was going to kind of hard charge, but I don't think Cassidy meant to get in there and spin him out or cause that at all. But man,
I just saw him hooking it in there.
Oh yeah, that. So this will for sure be in overtime, going into overtime here. Oh man, more bumper carnage, or bumper cars there. Just unfortunate.
How many times has line been sent around tonight? Jeez.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Even in just the last like 50. Brian's up here just like, come on guys, keep together. I want to be done with this one up front.
Yeah, if Brian can have another restart like that again and just get back around to the white flag, that's all he needs to see. But, you know, 19 seconds can be a long 19 seconds. 20 seconds is about what it takes. 18 to 20 seconds, let's just say that roughly, for these cup cars to get around here. And that can be a long, 18, 20 seconds. It may not feel like it sometimes, but my golly, when everything is just getting down to the nitty gritty, everything's getting down to the end of the race, and sometimes you can be at the shortest track, but the laps feel like they take so long, Chris.
Yeah, you know what? Well, it's like the end of the workday. Like we're almost there. All right, we want to watch some racing, but I mean, come on, 3 laps to go. How long does it take us to do 3 laps?
Well, this is how many cautions we had, I do believe, for the truck race here. So tied the truck series amount of cautions here for the BNR Truck Series, or the BNR events. I think we only had 19 for the Xfinity Series. So
Ollie's gonna bring him to the green flag one more time, and he is off. They stack up a bit on the outside line, and that doesn't sound good. Nope. There we go
oh
again.
my goodness. A scrapyard in turn one has appeared. Just a junkyard. Yeah, there was some congestion or something happened on the outside lane. But did it all stir? And oh my goodness.
Looks like 41
Bradford
come down.
changing. Bradford was kind of changing lanes before the start finish line there, too. And oh my goodness. I think there was some cars checking up a bit further in the back. You see Kevin Roy getting spun there. He could have been checking up to avoid all of this, and just wham blam, thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I do want to say Aaron was kind of trying to change lanes, most definitely before the start finish line, and Cassidy had a bumper on him for sure, and just kind of came down across David there. Tough spot, tough situation. And a lot of cars stuck in turn one. Everybody trying to get back going again.
This would be the second green white checkered.
Yes, sir. Second green white checkered. Only 3 green white checkered attempts in the BNR series. So thank golly for that.
Have we had any races in the BNR since we've shortened it up to where they've actually run out of them and ended under yellow?
Not yet, I don't think. I don't think so, no. Be interesting to see one. I mean, what? Anyway, so DeRosa second, really probably tired of starting in that outside lane. He's had a lot of outside lane restarts this evening since I've been able to show up. I was late to the party, but not late enough, so you didn't have to call me late for dinner. So, like we alluded to, if Brian Huntley can get another restart like he has been getting these whole shot jumps on the field, but Tiller last restart, Tiller got a really good one, but oh man, that kind of even there just a little bit.
Oh, come
just
on.
A tad bit.
Here we go.
Oh man.
That's Campbell was in the middle of that one. I'm not sure if he dove too low or well, let's just take a look here. Campbell at 68. Oh, he got sent. Got 41. Punted him. And everybody wads up in the turn one again. Cassidy wrapped up in it again.
Well, you know, you could say everybody's just trying to beat and batter who they haven't. At the end of this thing, Chris, you know, I think everybody's trying to make sure everybody has some type of damage on their car.
Well, they're doing a good job. Some of them are on their backup cars for geez.
That's kind of what it looks like a little bit, especially for Schaefer.
It's like the All-Star when they let Gordon friggin' pull off a new car.
He wasn't a fan, huh?
Yeah, man, I don't know. So this is our last attempt. I don't know. We think we can make it happen, Will?
Oh, I'm not really a positive person, to be honest. Positivity is not my strong suit, but
I try to be pretty positive, but this isn't looking so good.
you know, when you're... I shouldn't make that joke out loud. I'll just keep that in my head. I was gonna say, you know, whenever your mom's name is Debbie, you know, you're basically gonna be a Debbie Downer, but oh well, I made the joke anyway. Oh well. I like that joke, you know, and I think it's kind of funny. It's not like the funniest. I find it to be like super cheesy than anything because it's facts. But
Right.
Yes. Who is... I'm so confused. There's an 8 car, but there's not an 8 car.
Well, he.
Oh, okay. So Cameron is out there.
He just rejoined.
150. Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on. There's an 8 car out here, but I thought he parked it a long time ago. Or like
He did. He parked it a long time ago. Maybe he just went and got a friggin' chicken sandwich from the infield or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he wanted some ice cream apparently, or something. Something done did happen with Cameron Smith. Get him back out here. Definitely not going to gain a position, I don't think. But anyway,
Hey, it's
so
game.
green flag going to wave here. Brian Huntley with another hole shot restart. So DeRosa going to get down, clear himself into turn 1.
38 goes around, caution is out, and that's gonna be it.
Oh wow. Race will end under caution. All they got to do is get back to the line, circle back around, complete these laps, and the race will be final.
I'd like to thank the admins for shortening the amount of green-white checkers allowed.
Yes, me too. I wouldn't want to have to sit here and go through all 15 attempts, or however many is unlimited attempts on iRacing. I think it's 15.
Well, hey, when I talked to Brian earlier today, I said if they hit 15 cautions before 100 laps, I'm shutting down the stream and going to bed. They didn't make it to that point, but... Anyways, your winners, Brian Huntley with in second place, and Philip Bridgman is going to fill up the top 3 spots.
Yeah, Bridgman drives his way back to third after starting on the pole, like you said, and just kind of being in the wars all around throughout the race. Just up and down night, but there he is.
Alright, so I'll take you through the rundown real quick. Brian Huntley, your winner. Jesse DeRosa in second. Philip Bridgman brings it home in third after starting on the pole. And John Tiller's in fourth with Chris Campbell fifth. Kevin Roy ends up in sixth. Matthew Hunsaker seventh. Eighth is David Cassidy with ninth going Tyler Myers. Nathan Lyon in 10th. Aaron Bradford in 11th. Chris Schaefer 12th. 13th is Jacob Carter with Timothy Cook in 14th. Jeff Gilmore is 15th. 16th is Cameron Smith with 17th going to Skylar Sigston. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our top finishers, so don't go there.
All right, Chris, I can let you do them all if you want. Things will go a lot faster with you, probably. He seemed to skim through them kind of quickly.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. We have got a few of our top finishers with us now. We've got Philip Bridgman finishing off in third place tonight. Philip, we've seen you go up through the field several times tonight and ending up at the podium position in third. Tell us how you did it.
It was a lot of just trying to avoid a lot of stuff. I was doing the best I could just to stay up there the whole race. It was quite a long fought battle, I guess, throughout the 200 laps. It was a lot of fun, I guess. Well, it wasn't too bad. I don't find, anyways.
It was good to watch you making your way up through a couple times. Had the speed and ended up front where you definitely belong. So congratulations on the top 3. Who do you want to thank tonight?
Appreciate it. I guess to have an Aerokinetics on board every now and again, still great to have, and Niagara Quick Dry, and yeah, it's just great to be here, and great for you guys to have putting it on, and great to have you guys putting it on. Sorry, I'm fumbling my words.
All right, thanks, Phil. Congratulations on the top 3.
Appreciate it.
All right, unfortunately, we don't have our second place finisher but we do have our winner, Brian Hunt. Brian, unbelievable. You made it look so easy all night, and once you got up front, you just didn't leave. Tell us how you did it. Brian, you got us? Oh, we don't seem to. Brian shows up in a few moments. In the meantime, Will, if he's still with us, you want to give us some final thoughts on the night?
Well, Chris, my final thoughts, even though I kind of showed up 70 some odd laps into the race, unfortunately, this evening, but nevertheless, uh, almost a typical Martinsville like race in a way. A lot of beating and banging. Uh, we did get a couple of decent green flag runs in there, and just big congratulations to the podium finishers. Big congratulations to Brian Huntley going back-to-back wins here at Martinsville. Uh, like I said, he won in the playoffs at Martinsville in the last season in BNR, and then to kind of follow it up this season, winning at Martinsville in the Cup Series as well. So back-to-back wins for Brian at Martinsville. That's pretty impressive, I would have to say. So just a um, kind of a caution-filled race at the same time, but nevertheless, impressive run by race winner and Brian Huntley there. So just looking forward to Talladega in a couple of weeks to see what that brings. It can bring some pretty big crashes, but also some pretty exciting racing and finishes. So, Chris, Talladega's one to be mindful of, and just can't wait to just in the coming weeks, the anticipation for it.
Yeah, Talladega, those super speedways, they're hit or miss, I suppose. They could be great races, they could be boring races. They could,
Oh, yes.
we could see all kinds of bump drafting and dodging and crazy moves. You could see a strung out race, so I'm excited to see what we see. Hope we see a lot of action, bumping and banging without cautions. Um, and, just looking forward to hopefully seeing some real good racing.
Indeed, Chris, I agree with you that wholeheartedly with that sentiment. And hopefully, Brian, you got a copy there?
I think he's dealing with something right now, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to talk
Yes.
to him. Maybe we'll be able to grab him before the race, Talladega or something. But it's been good, Will, and I look forward to. Well, I'll be behind the wheel on Tuesday, but you'll be in the booth for that one, I believe, for the Truck Series.
Um, I don't know if we'll get to call that one or not, but good luck to you in the Truck Series race Tuesday.
All right, appreciate it. And that's going to do it for us here at 1-5 Studios. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the BNR Cup Series action every Saturday right here at 8:30 Eastern, only on the 1-5 Studios YouTube page. Again, we'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the next track.